We constantly hear from people all the time. It's almost impossible to find an affordable house these days. And although that may be true, it's very competitive right now. We want to go over 10 of the top neighborhoods that are affordable in the KC metro area, but places that you might not mind living in the same breath. Hey guys, it's Max and Zach here, the Mojo Real Estate team, and we are going to go over some of the most affordable but nice places in Kansas City. We're going to go over a lot of the information you're going to want to know, the amenities and just general things that you're going to want to expect and know about these areas. And we're going to do it right now. Let's get to it. All right, so in no particular order, we are going to start with number one that just randomly hit the top of our list, and that's Independence, Missouri. Now, when you say the word Independence in Kansas City, you're going to get mixed reviews. Some people are going to be like, no, you don't want to go there. And some people are like, yeah, it's not bad. And that's because there is pockets of this. Is a very large suburb of Kansas City. It's close to the city center, but there are pockets, especially on the west side, closest to Kansas City, that you might not consider the greatest area. As you go east or as you go north and get to some of the better school districts like Fort Osage, you're going to get into some nice areas where there's new construction happening. There's a lot of ranch and patio homes that are going in and some maintenance-free communities for some of the older generation. That's not, good enough. The average price point for the general area is like $189,000, which is pretty sweet these days when you think about prices in Kansas City and the average price point closer to $300 or $350. Now, being in Independence does put you close to some stuff that's kind of cool, like the Royals and the Chiefs put you close to I-70. So you can get into downtown and out pretty quick. And with these pockets, I will also mention Airbnbs are still an option. So we do see a lot of investors that are coming in from out of town that will buy Airbnbs there to be close to the stadiums. After all, we do have the World Cup coming pretty soon. And having an Airbnb during that week would probably be a pretty sweet thing to have. But you can have that in Independence, be close to a lot of those amenities. There's a lot of dining options, a lot of shopping options, but it is pockety. Yeah, so some of my favorite golf courses are Independence, actually. So you've got Winterstone and you have Drum Farm, which are both really nice golf courses. Also, we always mention the Chiefs and the Royals, but in Independence Center, there is the Comets play, and they're in the finals right now. So they're the professional soccer team, indoor soccer, and they also have the Mavericks, which is hockey. Yeah. So a lot of fun to be had in Independence. And it is kind of pockety. So, some of these golf course communities are beautiful and areas around there, especially like Zach mentioned, the Fort Osage School District. So you can find good areas in Independence and
not so good as well.
Yes, sir.
And poor schools as well. So you got all the options. You just got to know where to look.
Number two, in no particular order, Raytown popped up. So Raytown is another one of those affordable cities. It is on the south side of Kansas City, and it's actually a first-tier suburb to Kansas City. So there you're going to find decent school districts. It does have a really cool trail called the Rock Island Creek Trail that runs right through it. That'll take you all up into the stadiums. In fact, I think one of the, Royals and Chiefs Stadiums actually has a Raytown address, even though it's really close to I-70, but there are some restaurants and shops. It's not a very big area, but the price point, we're coming in at $239 for the average price point right now. So still pretty affordable. There's a couple lake communities. There is a couple small neighborhoods. And let me tell you, your money does go a long way there, and you're close to the action. Yeah, for sure. Not a whole lot to add on Raytown, other than it is very affordable and not a too bad kind of place to live. Number three on the list, coming in, we've got Grandview, which is known for its grand views. It kind of sits up on a hill a little bit, and it really does have some good views. It has an old downtown area, like an old city square that's pretty cool. And it is coming in at $208,000 for a median price point.
Not bad.
And lots of parks, recreational programs, and community-oriented area. So,
it's close to the city. It's on the south side as well, but we have this traffic area called the Grandview Triangle that makes the news every night, which just means you've got great highway access, but it's in the busy zone, so during rush hours, traffic can be a bear in the Grandview area.
Yeah, that's true. It used to be notorious when we were growing up, but they built some overpasses that cleared up a lot of the congestion. But if you're going to Grandview for a baseball
tournament or something at 5 p.m. on a Thursday night or Friday night, then it's
drive off a bridge.
yeah. So right down by Grandview, coming in at number 4 is Belton. When I think of Belton, I think of Grandview. They're kind of right next to each other, fairly synonymous. But Belton is also a very affordable area, coming in at $280 on the median price point. It has a little bit of a rural charm to it. Nothing too fancy.
I think you said it. Yeah. That's my vibe too. A little bit of rural, close to the city.
Pretty nice parks, recreational facilities, and it's growing. So there is some development there with some growing shops and restaurants and stuff coming to Belton. So we have baseball tournaments in Belton for my kids, and it's about a 45-minute jaunt from my house. So anytime I hear Belton, I know that I'm going to be stuck down there for a while. So that's about all that comes to mind.
So if you want to buy a house in Belton, call Max. All right, well, let's shift gears, go into number 5, and jump over to the Kansas side with Bonner Springs, Kansas. And this is another one of those places when I think of Bonner Springs, I kind of think of that country feel a little bit with some urban convenience. I have sold a couple new construction properties and condos over there, so it's got a pretty good mix of everything, shopping, dining. Just a nice, quiet little area, again, on the Kansas side. Average price points out there are coming in right around $200,000, so hits the super affordable list, and not a bad spot to call home.
What kind of stuff they got going on in Bonner Springs?
Yeah, the normal stuff, parks and restaurants and a little bit of shopping. I can't think of anything that there is a dynamic disc golf shop out there that I bought some golf baskets from.
Oh, okay. In our research, the research I was able to do on Bonner Springs, it says, I've never been there to this, but it says that the National Agricultural Center and the Hall of Fame is there. Annual Renaissance Festival, it takes place in Bonner Springs.
Ah, does it? Okay.
Not really my thing, but yeah, lots of parks and community events and things going on in Bonner Springs. It's kind of its own little pocket that pretty affordable, nice place.
I can live there if I wanted the quiet life. Hey, we hope you're enjoying these videos, and if you are and you're watching these, you're probably doing some research thinking about moving to Kansas City, and that's why we're here. So if you need any help with that, you can always reach out to us, call, text, email, anytime. All of our information is in the description below. But check us out on Google too. We've helped over 650 families, or at least 650 Google reviews, helping thousands of families over the last 20 years move to Kansas City, and are Kansas City's #1 relocation specialist. So check us out. Now let's get back to this video.
All right, number 6 on the video is Gladstone, and also known as Happy Rock. Gladstone, we know a lot about Gladstone because our office is located in Gladstone. It's kind of right in the heart of Kansas City. That's why we chose that location. It's very centrally located. Pretty nice little area. A lot of ranch homes, a lot of split entry, split level houses built in the 60s and 70s, and is part of the North Kansas City School District. Mm-hmm. So in the North Kansas City School District, down at the southernmost point, you've got Northtown. And then as you go north, it goes into Winnetonka and Oak Park. When you get outside of Gladstone on the north side is Staley High School. But huge school district, and Gladstone is right kind of in the middle of the Northland, and a pretty nice area, really.
Yeah, I think Gladstone's done a really good job over the years. Since they're their own city, they've got their own little courthouse and their own little downtown, and they've just done a really good job keeping the schools nice, the area nice. I mean, North Oak Traffic Way runs right through the middle of Gladstone, and it used to be one of the busiest business highways in the Northland. Full of shops and restaurants, so it still has some of that. A lot of the with things going to Amazon and coming out of warehouses now, people aren't doing as much shopping, but still a lot of restaurants, auto parts, things that you can pick up there. But just with what they've done with their parks out there and the property, the values in Gladstone the homes in Gladstone have really held their values, and now we're looking at the average sale or the average price point in Gladstone at $245,000, which makes it super affordable. And there's a lot of ranches, so you can see a lot of older people that are moving there that don't want steps. It's a great spot to look, in a nice, quiet place. It's got its own police force, really well manicured, and a nice little downtown.
Yeah, safe, low crime area, close to the airport,
good schools.
If I was trying to choose an affordable place to be, in Kansas City, that'd probably be tops of my list.
Yeah.
Even though we're in no particular order.
We are not.
Also in no particular order, coming in at number 7, we got Blue Springs.
Blue Springs, yep. Named after a spring.
You don't say.
Details.
Was it a blue one?
It was. Hey, it wasn't the Blue River. There is another Blue Spring somewhere else. But anyway, Blue Springs. Great little spot on the Missouri side. So Blue Springs, Missouri, and a little bit east of the city off I-70. And it's a great spot too. It has a great school district.
Blue Springs is really nice. It's actually, you know, when I think of Lee Summit, which is the land of the lakes that we talk about, we've done lots of videos on Lee Summit. Blue Springs and Lee Summit are kind of synonymous. They're a little bit further out than Raytown and Grandview are closer into the city center. So, you know, as you get out, it gets a little bit nicer. And yeah, it's a really nice area just south of I-70. And
there are some lakes out there as well at both, you know, A+ school districts, newer subdivisions. It's got just a little mix of everything. Lots of shopping, lots of restaurant options. Pretty much everything you need is right there in Blue Springs. So you don't have to leave it unless you're coming in to go watch a Royals or a Chiefs game, or you're going into downtown for a big event. They got it all.
Average price point coming in at Blue Springs is creeping up a little bit on the affordability scale at $283,000. So I don't know where the affordability ends and expensive begins, but it's getting up a little high on the higher side from the areas that we've mentioned.
Very sought after, but it's so big that there's lots of opportunities.
And continuing to creep up on the affordability scale, but still worthy of mentioning, is Liberty. Liberty, Missouri is where I live, actually. And, I have a Kansas City address, but I live in the Liberty School District. If you actually get into the city of Liberty, it can be a little less expensive as you get closer to the downtown city square. There's some older homes in there that are really nice, charming area, a really nice city square. Liberty used to be kind of like Bonner Springs and some of these areas that we mentioned, used to be a town away from Kansas City that you'd have to travel to get to. And now Kansas City is sprawled so much that it just kind of intermixed, but still has that downtown city charm, you know, old town city charm. And you got fall festivals and all kinds of stuff that goes on in Liberty. We got William Jewell College that's right in there.
Yeah, the school district's amazing, A+.
Yeah, the school district's phenomenal. The taxes are not inexpensive. And, you know, as far as the affordability scale, we are creeping up just over $300,000 at $302 for the average price point. Still really, I think, presents a really good value for what you get relative to some of these other areas that you mentioned. I'd say Liberty's probably the nicest one, and still fairly affordable. There's a couple areas that are within Liberty that aren't called Liberty, that are one of those is called Pleasant Valley. It's part of Liberty School District. Well, some of it is, and it's a really nice area that's affordable. Glen Eyre is another city within the city that's not well known. That is, if that address pops up on your list, Glen Eyre is within Liberty and another very affordable place. Yeah, on the north side of Liberty, as you creep up to Kearney, it kind of gets to be more of a rural setting, so you can even get some small acreages, 2, 3, and 4 acre estate-sized lots on the north side of Liberty. All in all, I think it's a great area.
Lots of restaurants, lots of shopping. Some of my favorite sporting goods stores are in Liberty. Just a great place all around. I agree with you. All right, number 9 in no particular order is Shawnee, Kansas. Back to the Kansas side. This is in Johnson County, and this boasts some great school districts. Let me just start with that. I also want to say that the price point's a little higher. When we're in the Johnson County or on the Kansas side, we are going to see higher prices across the board. So $398 for your average price point in Shawnee, but Shawnee is great location, just far enough away to the city to where you have a lot of new stuff. You've got lakes, lots of parks, lots of outdoor activities, community comes together. There's a farmer's market, all kinds of shopping, restaurants, dining, and did I mention Blue Valley Schools, A+ Schools, the best school district in Kansas?
Well, Shawnee is kind of synonymous with Lenexa in a way. They're right on the south side of Overland Park, closer into the city center, and that's, a little bit older. I think that's why it's on our affordable list, but it is, when you're driving down I-35, it's hard to really tell Shawnee from Overland Park. It's a really nice area. Definitely more affordable than Overland Park is, and just as nice, really.
Yeah.
Last one on the list.
Last, number 10 in no particular order.
And you were saying?
Later.
Yeah.
Kansas.
So Olathe is spelled with an E and not an A. So if you call us and you say, can you show me a property in Olathe, then we'll know that you are from out of town. But that's okay. We like educating you anyway. There's, some people say Kearney for Kearney and Olathe for Olathe. But
happen.
But Olathe is super nice. It's the only bad thing about it is it's kind of far out there, away from the airport and a lot of the stuff. But it doesn't matter because Olathe has everything you're going to need. It's huge. It has great schools. I think 5 high schools in Olathe. It's a growing area. It's growing like crazy.
Their price point looks like they're right at $399 also. And yeah, that's what I think. When I think of Lenexa, when I go down there, it just seems like every time I'm there, there's like another subdivision going on, new construction over here. It's just one of those places that they just keep adding on to it. I'm like, whoa, slow down, man. But it's going to town. It's a great spot.
Yeah, Olathe is sprawling to the south, and you've got Gardner, Kansas, which is south of Olathe, kind of like Liberty is to Kearney. And it just, those areas are expanding and they're starting to grow into one another. Definitely on the highest side of our affordability scale. When we said no particular order, I think we did go in and
kind of feel that way.
Got more expensive as we were going on.
Yeah.
But Olathe is probably probably the nicest place that we've mentioned. I mean, it has tons of shops, awesome schools, really good job opportunities, and great quality of life in Olathe. The only bad side is it's a jaunt to the airport if you travel a lot for work. So keep that in mind if that's your thing.
Yeah, all of my friends and clients that live in Olathe, they probably boast more about how much they love it than anybody I know living anywhere else. They just we love Olathe. They never leave for anything. So got a lot going on down there.
Yeah, it's on the opposite end of the map from me, so maybe that's why it seems so far away. So that wraps it up for our list, Zach. Those are some affordable options. That's not an exhaustive list by any means. There are lots of affordable options in Kansas City, but we just wanted to highlight, 10 of them for you to give some consideration, whether it's on the Missouri side or the Kansas side.
Lots of options. So, hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And I tell you what, if you like this video, then you're going to love this video that we did with the most expensive neighborhoods in Kansas City. So we'll see you on over there and check that one out.